should have known for that cheap price in LA, something is up. Hi Dawnies, welcome back to my channel. Please go ahead and subscribe because you know I'm disabled, so watch my fables so I don't have to beg you. Where do I want to begin? Okay, so this was back in 2014 after my mother passed, and as you know from one of my other stories that since my mom passed, I couldn't stay in her apartment and therefore I was homeless. So my first mind was like, okay, I have friends and family, so you know what I should do is like 3 out of 4 days out of the week, stay at someone's house and then just rotate my friends and family. That was my thought process. Well, one family member was like, no, just come to my house. I got you. I'll take care of you. But I already knew that after 3 to 4 days, you get on people's nerves because you're disrupting their whole way of living. And so that's why I wanted to rotate. And then on the weekend, I would just drive an hour out to my aunt's house. Because at that time, I was also looking for work, which I should have been in counseling after my mother died. But I was always a go-getter and always had a job. My mom used to tease me that my baby, she would say, my baby could get a job, but she just can't keep one. So I always knew how to get a job. So I didn't have any problems with that. Even if it was LA, I know how to get a job. So I didn't worry about the whole finance part at that time. I just needed a place to live. So like I said, a family member was like, oh, I can come stay with her. And then 3 days later, she's like, what's your plan? And of course I started smiling because I'm like, it's 3 days later and now I'm already getting on your nerves. I know this because people get on my nerves if they stay at my house too long and I didn't invite them to stay at my house longer than what I expected. Okay. So I told her that the plan was I'm going to get a job and then get an apartment complex. And I guess this didn't make sense to her because I don't know if she knew who I was and how I'm able to get a job. So I did get a job and it was the best job. All I did was send out emails. I would change a few words and just send out emails. I loved that job and I worked early in the morning. So I had the rest of my day to be free and to look for an apartment. I found a great apartment. Oh, and while I'm telling the story, I'm going to have the pictures come through because I didn't want this video to be too long and have pictures at the end because I know you guys only watch 5 minutes of my videos, but that's okay. I still love you for watching. So like I said, it was a studio apartment and it was $650 a month and all bills paid. And it was the cutest studio apartment, and as you see through the pictures, why I fell in love with it. But I should have known for that cheap price in LA, something is up. But I needed somewhere to live. This was in June. Then they were telling me, oh, the apartment's not going to be ready till like around July. So I told the family member, I said, oh, okay, so I found the apartment. As you know, I'm already working. But the apartment is going to be like 3 weeks before the apartment's ready. And so I had texted her, actually I was texting her this, that it was going to be 3 weeks before the apartment's ready. And how about I pay you $100 a week until the apartment is ready? You know, texts are not a good thing. I want you, I'm not going to put a timer or anything, but when you put in a text making this negotiation saying I'm going to pay you $100 a week until the apartment's ready, and you think that's a good idea because you've really pretty much only been in the person's house for, I think, a week and a half, you think, okay, they're going to take the money. Well, what I got in the text, and let me know if you would have been offended. The text came back, well, American extended stays are only $85 a night, and we'll talk later. So I guess you don't want this money. You want me to pay $85 a night, which I didn't do the math. I'll probably put the calculation on here because I didn't do the math. I'll let y'all do the math if you guys are math genius. I'm not that. So I got offended. And when I got back to my family member's house, we didn't discuss anything because, you know, she said, we'll talk later. So I'm waiting like, when we going to talk? But we didn't talk. And since I was offended and in my pride, and as you know, I had to be at work early in the morning because I told you I worked from 5 to 2, I think, or something like that, 6 to 2 or something. So since I had to be up early, I just gathered up my belongings, put them in my car, and decided my car will be my home until the apartment's ready. So that's what I did. I probably should have talked some more, but it was already tense, and I was just like, I'll just sleep in my car. I don't have time for this. I'm trying to survive, and I should have went to counseling for my mom's death, because even when I was going through the county thing, they said I should get counseling and not worry about a job, but I didn't listen. Why didn't I listen? I need to start listening to people. So like I said, the apartment or the studio apartment was $650 a month and all bills paid. So this is great, right? Except for one thing, and it's major. This cute little studio apartment, if you've been paying attention to the pictures, it was a great apartment. I mean, even though it was a studio apartment, I think what it was, it used to be a hotel, an old hotel, and they you guys know I can't talk, converted it into little studios apartments. And it was so cute because you see the kitchen is divided and the bathroom part is divided, and then you have this little space. So it was more than just an open wall with it was so cute. But it came with other things that wasn't paying rent, and I was like, oh no, I can't do this. I can't do this. So because this was my first night in the apartment, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go down the street and get some combat little things, the little tray things, and the combat gel, because they had worked when I lived with my grandma. We didn't have any problems after we took care of it. And then I got some boric acid, thinking that was gonna help. No, it did nothing. So 3 days later, I called the Orkin man, and I'm like, can you come and exterminate? So the Orkin man came and exterminate. I called the landlord to let her know that I'm having these people come in because I still got this problem, and it's just too much. And I should have told her, you need to take something off of the rent for this because it's coming out of my pocket. And I even found a law that, you know, was basically inhabitable if it has that many roaches. So that was the landlord. And then the landlord had suggested to call the property management. I called the property management, and I told the woman who I was introduced first to rent this apartment. I was telling her what was going on and how it's just too many. I can't get rid of them. And the apartment manager lady was like, well, we do have other properties. Maybe we can transfer you to another property, but let me give you my boss number and see if that'll work. And he won't be in until Monday. And I'm thinking this was the boss's office number. Anyway, this was the weekend. I don't remember if it was a Friday or Saturday. And I think it was 4th of July weekend. Yeah, I didn't have a life. It was 4th of July weekend, so I was just in the house watching TV and videos or what have you. So after she gave me the man's number, I called and left a message like, well, this is what's going on. There's too many roaches. And I want to know if it's a possibility that I can transfer to another apartment. Now, I think I called him, I think it was like 3 p.m. when I called him, and I just left a message because, like I said, I thought it was the office that I was leaving a message on. So about 10 p.m. at night, I get a text And I'm like, most people that know me know that I don't accept calls after 10 p.m. unless it's emergency. But I get a text from an unknown number and I'm like, what is this? Because the message was kind of off. I can't remember exactly what the message said. I think it said something like you can't break your lease, but it was kind of vague. It wasn't that specific. And I put 2 and 2 together to realize, oh, this is the main manager basically telling me I can't break my lease. And so we're texting back and forth, and I'm like, I'm not trying to break my lease. I just want to transfer to one of your other properties because I can't deal with these roaches. And I already called the orchid man, and they came and they said it's going to take time, and it's just too much. Like I said, I don't remember all what was said. We went back and forth in text, right? I think it was about an hour that we went back and forth in text. And the last text from this nice man was, I don't have time for this. I need to spend time with my family. You text me at 10 p.m. at night on a Saturday. But now you don't have time for this. And during that day or night, it was that time of the month, so I just looked at the phone and I was like, let me put this phone down before I say something I may regret. So I put the phone down and I was just done. So that Monday, I called the property manager's office and basically told him I'm not trying to break my lease. All I want to know if you can transfer me to another property that doesn't have this issue. And the fact that I already called the orchid man and spent my money, I just want to live somewhere where it's roach free. That's all I wanted to do. And he started over talking me and being boisterous and loud, and it's like, you can't break your lease, you can't break a lease. And I'm like, sir, are you listening to what I'm saying? Hold up, I always got a cough. So I think somewhere in there he heard me, I think. So he was like, okay, basically what he said was, how about our exterminators come out and see if they can remedy the problem? And I was like, well, the orchid man already came. He was like, well, let us try to take care of it. And after 10 days, if it's not resolved, then we can see what we can do as far as transferring you. So I was like, okay, I'll work with that. But in my mind, I'm like, it's not in writing. So let me email him the conversation so it can be confirmed. Why did I do that? I hope you guys have time, because
yeah, I got time, boys. Yeah, I got time, boys.
Shout out to Lovely T and ReeceBeats, because I'm going to read to you guys the email exchange of this crazy man. And like I said,
yeah, I got time, boys. Yeah, I got time, boys.
So here we go. Per our conversation yesterday on July 14th, 2014 at 1 p.m., we discussed that you will send out an exterminator and to give it a chance to fix the problem. I explained to you that I've already called the orchid man and they have already come out and sprayed. Would that be too much? You suggested having the company come out anyway. The thing that left me uneasy with our conversation was that it seems like you thought I was exaggerating about the roaches. Oh yeah, I had sent him pictures. Especially with the comments saying you saw 2 dead roaches and you're making a big deal about it. Evidently, let me not say people's name. Evidently, the young lady provided that information to you. When I tried to explain to you this has been going on since day one, and the fact that one even crawled on me, there was no sympathy. When I mentioned I have pictures and I'm not exaggerating, there was no response to that. It seemed to me that you care more about being right than taking in my consideration. I have asked more than once to move to another facility, and the response is that you cannot break your lease and let me send out an exterminator. You stated that you will have the young lady contact me. I'm in the process of moving my small items back into storage. Once they are back into storage, I will not be staying in the unit or building until the matter has been resolved. So I will let you send an exterminator out, but if the problem is not resolved in 10 days, I will no longer be a tenant of that building, because I also sent him the California law that is inhabitable. P.S. I would like to be reimbursed the $89 I spent on the Orchid Man. We spoke again this morning, and you stated that the young lady will be contacting me, which she did, and told me that the exterminators will come out tomorrow between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., and I thanked her. I also received a text from you with the same information. I will follow up with the certified mail copy. His response to the email was, you obviously want out of your lease. We spoke Monday and your appointment is for Wednesday. Vacate the unit and hand in your keys today to be released from your lease. I will return your deposit and prorate your rent. You will not be reimbursed, and I hope you find what you're looking for. And my response was, I will return the keys once I get all my belongings out of the unit. Even though they are small, they're heavy. It's just so I don't remember what I put. It's just me. So is it okay to take a couple of trips? I'm at work right now. I had said that I would give you 10 days. However, since you're giving me the option to leave, I will leave as soon as all my belongings are removed, which will take today and tomorrow. His response was, good. Give the manager the keys when leaving. Email your forwarding address for the deposit. And at this time, I had one of those UPS mailboxes. So my response was, I still have a UPS mailbox. Once I return the keys, the check can be mailed to that address. I would like clarification on the amount of the check, please. His response, deposit plus prorated rent. I said I would like the amount. That doesn't tell me what the amount is. See, these little legalese trying to get around stuff. No, I need a definite answer. What is the amount? Okay, July 16th. I work split shift today and have a break in my schedule from 12 to 4. I arrived today at the apartment at 1 p.m. to get the rest of my belongings. However, the exterminators were already there. They suggested that they sprayed anyway. It was also stated not to enter the unit for another 4 hours. The dilemma is that I have signed back online for work from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and storage closes at 6 p.m. I will have most of my belongings in the car tonight at approximately 10 p.m. Then tomorrow, July 17th, when I get off work at 3 p.m., I will take those items to my storage 4 p.m.-ish, then come back to the apartment to get the rest of my belongings. Therefore, it may be 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. before everything is cleared out. I will email you once all my belongings are out of the unit, and since my job is so close to your office, I can drop the keys off during my lunch hour from 10 or 11. I was truly hoping with the 5-hour break that I could have gotten all my belongings out. Please give the keys to the manager when leaving. Thank you. I think there was more email exchanges, but I couldn't find them. Well, lo and behold, I got all my rent back, plus the deposit and the Orchid Man fee. I think that little ordinance of the law helped him get his act together. I was back in my car. looking for another apartment. I'm gonna put the card here so you can check out that story, because these apartment managers in LA. Anyway, as I always say, remember to toast to life because it makes for a great story. And Dawnies, remember to check out my other videos, and please don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.